How do you say it? It was a devastating week for American workers, as many of the country's largest companies saw little choice but to lay off or at least announce layoffs of tens of thousands of employees. Take a look. Pfizer, Wyeth, cutting a combined 20,000 jobs. Caterpillar, the same. Home Depot, 7,000. Kodak, 4,500. Those are just some of the announcements. We were looking at over 100,000 job losses announced globally. If you're one of the newly jobless, what do you do now? Career counselor Hallie Crawford is back with us to discuss that. And we do have a question that we want to get to from somebody. Pat has a suggestion to solving the unemployment problem in this country. He says, why not lower the retirement age for workers that would be interested in early retirement? This could help as a way to vacate some of the jobs. Hallie, what do you think about that?
It's an interesting idea, but what I'm finding, the trend is that people are wanting to work longer. We're living longer, and people aren't wanting to, they want to have something to do and have a sense of purpose. And so I'm not sure that's the best idea, because what I'm seeing is people wanting to continue to work and not just feeling like, you know, they're sitting around in retirement. So I'm seeing actually the opposite trend.
What have you been hearing from people who are looking for jobs? Is there a theme that's developing?
One of the themes I'm seeing is when people are applying for jobs now, they are not hearing back for weeks. And part of it is because these employers are getting up to 3 times the amount of resumes that they used to get for the same jobs. And so I'm seeing people needing to be much more proactive about their search, having to follow up on a consistent basis to get an answer, and using as many possible job search techniques as they can just to find some vacant positions and, you know, make some progress in their job search. They're doing a lot.
We have another email from Jack in New Jersey, who's questioning the long-term impact of President Obama's stimulus bill. He says, regarding the president's economic stimulus package, what happens in 3 or 4 years to all the jobs it created when that money runs out? It's kind of a good point. One of the big criticisms is the focus in this will be on creating jobs in government where unemployment is low. And I want to know what you have to say about that. Your analysis, essentially, of the stimulus package.
Well, these jobs should stick around. There are certain specific industries that are supposed to grow based on the stimulus package: IT, healthcare, environmental technology, those kinds of things, and those jobs should stay put. It's not like they're going to be created and then go away. So I think it's a good idea. I agree with what the senator was saying before about we have to focus on jobs because the employment rate is so high, and that's, people just need to get back to work.
Quickly, where are you seeing the jobs? Some of the obvious places clearly are government jobs, health care, but are there any areas that we're missing that you see opportunity?
One of the areas I see is because of the internet, people are working so much more from home, and if you have a specialization, like say you're an accountant or great with administrative work, there's this whole field of virtual assistants, having a bookkeeper who works for you but lives in another state. And so there's this whole like self-employment, starting your own business from your own home, and you can service tons of people all over the country.
What about
I have that for my business.
But what about these green jobs? Like, what's a green job, and do you have to go back to school? What are they talking about?
It's a job that is working towards improving the environment. So there's a lot of things. I mean, there could be recycling, there could be environmental planning, like when you're building a new building, how to reduce the impact on the environment. So for some people, yes, you would need to go back to school. But there are programs out there that you can learn some basic skills. So even if this isn't your area of expertise right now, you can go back and take some classes in order to get into that industry. And it's worth it. It's a big deal these days. And that's where we're going.
Can I add,
yeah, absolutely,
can I add on
Pat.
here? I think one of the things is people have to sort of plan for the possibility before they leave their job. And they have to keep up their skills. And they have to invest in themselves. And so they just can't wait and then say, oh, well, now I've lost my job. What am I going to do? Oh, I don't have the skills that I need to do the dream job or the job I want to do. Plan in advance. Look ahead a little bit. no one's feeling terribly secure. So if you want to be secure, make sure your skills are as honed as possible.
Matt, you can jump in here.
Yeah.
Sure, one word, relationships. You have to get out of that cubicle. It's not about your cubicle and you going to lunch.
Right.
Start building relationships with the people around you. Why? Because when you do lose that job, potentially, it's those relationships that help you kick down a door at another company or start an entrepreneurial venture.
Well,
Yeah,
that was
you can't just sit behind your computer and apply for jobs online all day. That is not going to cut it. You have to get out there, stand in the traffic.
Matthew just gave us a nice setup to the last hour from 1 to 2. We're focusing on entrepreneurship, starting a business. John Rutledge is going to be here, Danny Babb, and a special guest. So get fired up about that.